All right, welcome to This Week in Jackson County Schools. If you're just now joining us, I'm Pamela Stone. And this week we have Mr. Craig Robbins. He is the principal of Dutton School. They're a pre-K this year. You went from just a K to a pre-K.
Well, we've had pre-K for a couple of years.
Oh, a couple of years?
Fourth year. We're in our fourth year.
Okay. And they go all the way up to 8th grade. So welcome to the show, Mr. Robbins. Thanks for coming on.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, so let's hear your background a little bit.
Okay.
Tell us about you.
Well, I'm a Jackson County native, graduate of the Jackson County School District, attended Section High School, Go Lions, so
there you go.
Went to high school there. From there, went on to Northeast Community College, which is also located in Jackson County. Great place, a great place for kids to get their start in higher ed, right there in Jackson County. So I went there for 2 years, went on to Jacksonville State University, became a teacher for reasons that sometimes escape me now, but I went into education, became a science teacher in secondary grades 7 through 12.
Did you like that?
Loved it. Had a great experience as a classroom teacher.
Okay.
I also coached basketball for those 8 years. And
you miss it?
I do at times miss that being in the classroom with students, and coaching the basketball was a very good experience. There's coaching relationship with kids. There's really nothing else like that.
Right.
And being in the huddle during a big game with those kids, that was great. Really enjoyed being a part of that, and a lot of lessons are learning. And I do miss that time with kids there.
So then you went on from teacher to then you just came here, or did you do something before you became principal here?
Well, from my teaching career, I got into administration by becoming principal at Bridgeport Middle School, which is a 5 through 8 school in the Jackson County School District. I spent 6 years there as principal.
That's good.
From there, I transferred to Flat Rock School, which is one of our K through 8 schools in Jackson County.
Okay.
And from there, I transferred to Dutton, where I am now. I'm in my 8th year as principal there.
Well, good. Awesome. Well, it sounds like you've been around.
Yes, I've been.
And you're still all in the same home area.
Yeah, I've spent my entire career in the Jackson County School District, so I've been at 5 different schools. Every school's a little different. Each school has its own culture. Each community's a little bit different. In Jackson County, big geographic area, as you know.
It is very big.
We're kind of spread out, but
you guys are the second largest school district, I think, in the state.
Probably.
I think it's the second, maybe third, but it's big.
And geographically, we're probably among the largest. Absolutely, just a big geographic area, lots of schools. So each community has its own identity. Each school has its own culture.
Right.
But there's a lot of commonalities in the Jackson County School District. We are a unified district, and but really enjoy being a part of the school district.
Well, good. All right, so let's talk about some things that you've got coming up. Let's talk of the events that are coming up, and then we'll remind our listeners toward the end as well. And then we'll go into the things that have already happened so far. So what are some events that are coming up that they need to know about?
Some upcoming events. Let's see here. We have a parent training session coming up here in January.
Okay. January what?
That is coming up January 28th.
Okay.
That'll be at 1 o'clock at our school. We will have Miss Beth Mannon from the Jackson County Parent Center coming on site at the school. She does parent training sessions.
What are they going to train?
She does a fantastic job. The topics vary. Sometimes it's on academics. It's on topics that parents can use to help their child succeed academically.
For homework and stuff?
It can be reading, mathematics, and then she covers other topics like internet safety. That is a big concern for parents now.
Yes, unfortunately.
So she actually, we have surveys that the Parent Center uses to get information from parents to see what kind of topics they're interested in.
Right.
And she kind of takes that information and tailors her sessions from those surveys.
Oh, cool. All right. And that's going to be the January 20th. I think that's next Monday.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Yep, pretty soon. Okay. What else you got coming up?
Coming up in February, we have the Jackson County Spelling Bee. coming up.
Ooh. How many kids did you get going from your school?
Well, the way we do the spelling bee, we have one winner from each of the Jackson County schools,
Okay.
and one winner from the Scottsboro City Schools, and we come together in Scottsboro and have the Jackson County Spelling Bee. So that's a very cool event. So shout out to our winner this year. That was Miss Madison Shankles.
Great.
She was the Dutton School. Madison is going to be, I think she is 6th grade.
6th grade.
I want to say.
Okay. Awesome.
If I mess that up, if I mess that up, Madison, I'm now
They're
being told.
They're saying in 5th grade.
I'm now being told she's 5th grade. Sorry, Madison.
It's all
So
right.
we got that corrected.
That's all right.
But the spelling bee, that's a lot of fun. That's a great competition.
Right.
Jackson County Schools, we like competing with Scottsboro City,
Right.
and many times.
But you guys are 2 different school districts.
That's right. That's two.
Okay, so it's really 2 different. Why is it called the Jackson County? Because those are the same county, just 2 different school districts?
Yes, Scottsboro City is a large city that's within
Jackson County.
Jackson County, the Jackson County seed, so to speak. So they have their own school district. So we enjoy that competition with the Jackson County school districts. A lot of with
Who
the
usually
Scottsboro
wins?
City School. Well, we have won. The Jackson County schools have done very well,
Okay.
holding their own with Scottsboro City Schools.
All right.
No ill will towards Scottsboro City Schools. It's a great school district, and they have some excellent schools there as well.
Well, good. Awesome. Okay, and then you have the spelling bee. What else do you got coming up?
Well,
And you said that's in February?
that is in February,
Okay.
February 4th.
Okay.
Coming up in February, our PTO will be hosting the much anticipated Valentine's Dance.
Woo-hoo.
Our students always look forward to that event.
Do they have to dress up all cute and pretty?
They
Or
tend
handsome, I should say?
they tend to do that. They especially the older kids. They tend to dress up and come out and enjoy that event, and it's a good little fundraiser for our PTO and something the kids really look forward to.
Cool. That is super cool. Okay. What day is that?
That we don't have the
I'm
date.
testing you. I'm sorry.
We don't have the date set for that yet, but that
It's
is coming up in
soon.
February.
Yes, it is.
You're asking some tough questions
I'm
today.
sorry. I know. Need the dates. Okay, what else? You got anything else coming up?
Well, we're looking forward to spring break coming up in March.
I know we just got off a day, but right?
Yes,
Spring break? It's a whole week?
spring break coming up in March. I know all the students are looking forward to that.
It's in March?
It is in March. That March 23rd.
You know that one, March 23rd.
We're a couple of months away from spring break.
It's
but
5 full days?
It is 5 full days.
Okay.
That's right.
Super exciting.
So it comes, as you know, spring break comes at a good time of the year. Gives our students a break from the winter season, gives them a break from school, and helps them get rejuvenated before coming back to school. And maybe
And teachers, too.
and teachers as well. That's
We won't
exactly
talk
right.
about teachers. We get enough time off, right?
Well, that's what they tell us.
That's what they sell it, right?
That's what they tell us.
Everybody says that. I'm like, wait, you have no idea. All right. Well, good. All right. Do we got anything else coming up? Or are we good?
Coming up, well, looking on forward into the end of the school year in May, we will be having, of course, our 8th grade graduation, which is kind of a tradition.
We will blink our eyes and we will be in May.
That's right.
Seriously.
It'll be here before we know
Oh my
it.
gosh, yes.
So those 8th graders, they're getting excited, getting antsy, looking forward to their upcoming
Have short timers disease.
short timers disease. Yes,
Yes, they
8th
do.
grade itis is what we
Yes.
call it. But that's a pretty common.
Yes.
But that's understandable. They're excited with
I
their.
think they come in 8th grade and have it the day they get there in 8th grade. Like the first day of 8th grade, a lot of our kids are already ready to.
They're planning that last day.
They're
of
ready,
school.
man. They're
That's right.
big men on campus or girls, but. Well, good. So those are some really good things coming up. We'll remind everyone toward the end. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the things that you've already gone through this year.
Okay.
I know that you said that your school was selected for a special award.
That's right.
So we'll talk about that, and then we'll talk about how you did in basketball.
Okay.
And that you had, I guess, that you guys hosted a tournament.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about social media stuff.
Okay. Sounds
All right,
great.
we'll be right back.
Hey, Hey, that cold weather is coming, and it's never too early to get your winter supplies from Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Everything you need to wrap pipes under the house, winterize around the doors. Make sure your outside faucets are protected, and keep those drafts from coming through the windows. Get your supplies for fall and winter for the home and farm today. Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Telephone 706-462-2071.
A small bank with big service. Citizens Bank and Trust, offering a wide range of services, including online banking. Pay your bills, manage your account anytime, 24 hours a day. Your account balance is only a phone call away as well at 657-1234. Or visit our convenient locations. Lookout Mountain, Georgia, Higdon, Alabama, on our main branch on Highway 11 in Trenton. Citizens Bank and Trust, 657-5678. A community bank that believes in the community. Citizens Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Landers McClarty Ford, home of America's hardest working truck in Fort Payne, Alabama, invites you to start the new year off right with a 2019 Ford F-150. 0% financing for 72 months and up to $15,000 off selected F-150s in stock. See Landers McClarty Ford for complete details. Landers McClarty Ford at 1916 Glen Boulevard in Fort Payne, Alabama, or shop on the web at Landers McClarty Ford. FortPayne.net.
Come enjoy pizza for lunch or dinner in a family-friendly atmosphere at Stevie B's Pizza in Fort Payne. Enjoy the buffet and salad bar anytime, or have a specialty pizza made to order. At Stevie B's, take advantage of Two-Stamp Tuesday for adult and senior buffets, and Thirsty Thursdays when drinks are free after 4 p.m. Take out any medium pizza weekdays between 2 and 5 for just $4.49. And on the weekends, take out any 2 large pizzas just $14.99. Book your parties now by calling Stevie B's at 256-979-1234. Stevie B's Pizza, 2200 Galt Avenue North, Fort Payne.
Gigabit Internet residential service is now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber in Jackson and Marshall County. Residential gig service is now available for only $79.95. Call today to have your gig service installed at 256-437-5000. High-speed fiber residential gig internet service now available to customers of the North Alabama Electric Co-op with NAEC Fiber. Business and commercial customers can get gig service too. Call for pricing 256-437-5000. Gig service from North Alabama Electric Co-op. 256-437-5000.
All right, welcome to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and today we've been talking to Mr. Craig Robbins. He is the principal over at Dutton School. They are a pre-K through 8th school, and we've just been going over all the things that are coming up, several things. There's like 5, 6, some good amount of things.
Always things happen.
And we've already gone down all the way to 8th grade graduation, so like we said, it'll be there before you know it. Okay, so some things that have already happened this school year. I know one thing you were talking about was that your school has been selected for a special award. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. We were recently selected by Niche.com as one of Alabama's standout middle schools. They release rankings of standout elementary, middle, and high schools, and we made the list of the standout.
Is it just
schools.
just for Alabama?
That list was for Alabama schools.
Okay.
So it was a very nice honor for our school, nice recognition. We've talked before about our school is very successful academically, and our students perform very well.
How many students do you have?
About 225, counting pre-K.
Okay.
So just a long tradition at Dutton School of outstanding academic performance, and it was nice to be recognized by a national group that ranks schools and some of the criteria they considered.
I was going to say, what was the criteria? Do you know some of them?
I do know some of it. Academic performance, of course, is part of that. Survey results from parents. They look at a lot of factors. They look at things like teacher attendance, teacher education. So they take it into consideration a number of factors, but it was just nice for our staff to be, and our students, to be recognized for their outstanding achievement. So we've been having some fun with that.
What? And then did they come and give you an award?
They did not come and give us an award,
okay.
But just the fact that we made the list, of course, we got shout-outs from the superintendent immediately. Sure. And we were able to get that out on our social media, And our PTO, we've talked before about the PTO at Dutton School, is very active,
Oh, yeah.
super supportive of our
They
school.
help you guys a lot with stuff.
They do. They're super supportive of our school and our students. And they, last Friday, we had biscuits for the staff that the PTO provided. So
There you go.
Everybody likes getting a biscuit, so that was
There
nice.
you go. Where'd they get the biscuits from?
They got those from the local Jack's there in section, I
Very
think.
good.
So
It was very nice of them.
it was nice of them to treat the staff.
I want a biscuit. No, I'm just kidding.
It was great. The staff really enjoyed that.
Well, that's good. PTOs make the difference between. I mean, I don't think people understand how much money that schools really need to earn on their own. And the PTOs, if you've got an active PTO, you can get all kinds of equipment. PE has gotten tons. It's just
right.
amazing what they do to help our schools out.
That's right. PTO is a really good PTO, supports the school, supports the work of the school, the programs of the school, and if there are certain needs that teachers have that are above and beyond what we can provide locally,
Right.
or the state can help provide, then they can swoop in there and really support us in that way.
Super cool. It is good. I think PTOs are just awesome. All right, and then you guys hosted a basketball tournament.
That's right.
So, and you said there was an interesting thing that happened. So, and by the laugh, I'm guessing it was. So, tell us about your basketball tournament.
Dutton School, this year we hosted the Jackson County Middle School Basketball Tournament, which is a very well attended tournament in Jackson County. We've talked about before how basketball is a
Huge in Jackson County.
huge sport in Jackson County.
Almost bigger than football. I didn't say that.
It may be bigger in Jackson County.
Well, you guys have
than
more.
football.
I think most schools have basketball.
That's right.
Not all have football.
That's right.
Very
That's
few,
right.
actually.
So we hosted the middle school tournament, very well attended, huge success. We had a little bit of an adventure during
Okay.
that week.
All right, what was it?
Well, we had snow one night,
Okay.
which resulted in a power outage during
no.
the last game, fourth quarter.
Okay.
Beginning of the fourth quarter, we have a power outage. Gym is full, so there we go into darkness.
Did you have emergency lights?
We did have emergency
Oh,
lights
good.
that functioned, and I'm
That's
grateful
good.
for that.
So did you
And,
finish in emergency lights?
Well, after a certain period of time, it was determined that the lights were not coming back on. We gave it about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And then what we did is actually the two schools that were competing agreed to come back to Dutton the next day, during the day, to finish the fourth quarter.
Okay.
So the next day we come back and we finish the fourth quarter during the school day. So that was one thing that happened.
Who won?
That particular game, Hollywood's boys
Okay.
did manage to beat Macedonia's boys
Okay.
the next day.
Pretty cool.
So another thing that happened, same week, so one night it snowed.
Was there a lot of snow?
We did get a pretty good dusting, believe it or
Really?
not.
Okay.
I mean, relatively speaking, for this area,
Right.
if the ground gets wide, we think we're getting
Oh
some snow.
yeah, and I'm from Colorado, so yeah, we don't get any snow. I mean, we don't get snow here compared to there, but
So,
all right.
so we have snow one night.
Okay.
A couple of nights later, it's time for the tournament. We have a threat of severe weather, tornado threat. We have to reschedule those games for the
Okay.
next day. So in 1 week there, the Jackson
do a
County tournament, we
week or
had
two of
snow, power outage, and severe weather. So we had a lot of rescheduling, but eventually we were able to finish the tournament. So let me give a shout out to the winners of the
Okay.
tournament there.
Yep, sounds
That was
good.
the Rosalie Tigers were the boys
Okay.
champion, and the Skyline Lady Vikings were the girls champions.
Very good.
They prevailed at the end of an eventful week.
Very good. That was eventful. That's a big deal. Weather's always a big deal. So, of course, keeping parents safe and kids safe is the most important thing too.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I'm sure some were like, well, we wanted to play our game tonight, but it's better to take it safe than sorry.
Everyone, of course, was very understanding that we had to do the rescheduling. So it went well. We have to make adjustments, keep everybody safe,
That's
like
true.
you said.
It is. And you as a principal probably were going, oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Well, I've been principal several years, but you never know the next event that you have. Something can happen. It has never happened before. I've never been a part of a basketball game where we have snow on the ground and then we lose power during the game. So that was definitely a first. So never say you've seen it all in education,
right.
because there's always the next week or the next
Right.
event.
Very true. Okay, and so then, well, that was pretty cool. And then you guys now are on Twitter.
That's right.
So tell everybody your Facebook, because you're on Facebook and Twitter. Do you know what your handles are, or whatever they call them?
I do know on Twitter that we are we are Dutton School at Dutton_Tigers.
Okay.
So if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do that. We're trying to use Twitter to get the story of our school out. There's so many positive things that happen
Oh, yeah.
at a school just during a regular school day, and we're trying to get some of those things that
So when you see snap a picture and put it out or whatever,
That's
or
right.
just put the word out?
That's right. Try to snap a picture, maybe shoot a short video clip, get the word out so parents, community, those that are interested in our school can see some of the things that are happening during the school day.
Are you using that at all for, like, if something was to, like, school day off, or you're using it for that too?
Yes, we're using it, and that's another thing. A great way to get information out, make announcements.
Okay.
Example, this time of year we are putting out information about pre-K registration for next school year,
Huh?
which that's open now. You can get information on
Already?
our school's website. And Miss Vanessa will probably speak to that, but yes, we do use it as a way to get information out there. And then if we have to make adjustments during the day with severe weather, or maybe a mechanical problem with a bus has caused us to change some
Or the
plans.
power goes out.
Exactly. It gives us a way of getting information out there.
That is a big deal. I mean, we use it too, so it's a big deal. Well, good. Sounds like you got everything under control.
Well, I don't know about under control, but
he just sat there for a minute.
that did cause a pause there.
He did.
You never know in the school business.
No,
but
you don't.
It's a lot of fun.
That's because you're dealing with humans. When you're dealing with humans, you just change it as you go.
That's right.
Yeah, that you do.
It's an adventure.
It is an adventure. So, all right. Well, when we come back, we've got two other teachers in here, and we will talk to one of them each at a time. But for right now, we're going to take a quick break. Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
All
Enjoyed
right.
it. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks. We'll be back.
Tennessee Valley Net, your local provider of fiber optic high-speed internet, TV with over 200 digital channels available, and phone service with lots of extras. Fiber optics from TVN is expanding to many areas. Call and see if TVN is available in your area. 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net today. Bundle and save on fiber optic high-speed internet, digital TV, and phone service, all from Tennessee Valley Net. 706-657-4367. Online at tvn.net. When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710.
For the best deals on a Chevy, any time of day, roll on down to Riverside Chevrolet.
Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC, the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty, has a new 2018 Chevrolet Sonic MSRP $25,605. Riverside price $18,999. A savings of over $6,000 with a 100,000-mile warranty. We make buying so easy.
Roll on down to Riverside Chevrolet.
Located off I-24 West, Kimball, Tennessee.
The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and if you're just not joining us, we have been talking to Mr. Craig Robbins. He is the principal at Dutton School. They are a pre-K through 8th school, elementary and middle school. He said I think there's about 225 students. And next to me, I have the PE teacher, and her name is Shanna Sarton. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, so you were the PE teacher. Are you the only PE teacher?
I am.
So you're it.
I am it.
Lucky you.
I enjoy it.
Good. So tell us about your background, how long you've been teaching, where you come from. I mean, where it's all been.
I actually come from Jackson County. I have lived there all my life. I went to school at Section High School also. Go Lions.
There you go.
And
That's two of you.
Yes. I played basketball at UAH and did 3 years there. My father died, and that kind of took the wind out of my sails for basketball. So I transferred to Athens State University and finished my education degree there. And I actually started in elementary education. I taught 5th and 6th grade combined in Paint Rock Valley. That school is no longer in Jackson County. They closed it last year.
And you just taught
year
PE?
before.
Or did you teach something
No,
else?
I taught 5th and 6th grade. I had a combined classroom of 5th graders and 6th graders, and I taught all subjects to both classes,
Okay.
which
They
was
don't
really
do that.
interesting.
They don't do that anymore, do they? Or do 5th and 6th now separate, like
Well,
English, math, or?
The reason we did that is the enrollment was so small.
Okay.
You know, I only had probably 25 kids.
In both grades?
Combined.
Okay.
So they base teacher units on number of students. So you just make do with what you have, and that was what I got to do, which was fun, and I enjoyed it.
How many years did you do
I
that?
stayed there for 8 years.
Okay.
And then the PE job at Dutton came open, and I lived 5 minutes from the school. I went to school at Dutton also as an elementary student, and have ties there, and have always loved the school, and was so excited to go back. But the only job they had open was PE. Did not have a degree in PE, but was able to take the praxis test and get certified for PE. So I am qualified to teach PE.
I would assume, though, being a basketball player, you would have to know a lot about physical education to play it at the college level.
I don't know that I knew that much about physical education, but I knew how important physical activity was for people, and how it had enriched my life, and I enjoyed it so much. And that's really what I want the kids to understand, that you don't have to be athletic to enjoy PE. You don't have to play an organized sport to stay healthy. There are a lot of options out there for the kids, and that's what's most important to me is for them to learn lifelong physical fitness.
So you have all the grades. You have pre-K. Do you do pre-K?
Well, I don't do pre-K. They're
kindergarten?
separate. So starting in kindergarten.
All the way through 8th grade?
All the way through 8th grade.
How do you do that in a day? I mean, that doesn't seem like you have a lot of time in a day or is like, elementary one day and then middle school?
No, I do
So you
everybody
literally have
every day.
all-
I do. I hit the ground running at 7:55, and I have a break, of course, for planning and lunch that I'm not sure exactly how long that is, but I have enough time in the day to get everybody in. They all have 35 minutes of PE, and we use it from the beginning to the end.
That's a lot. That's 8 classes a day.
Yeah.
9 really.
Mm-hmm.
If you include kindergarten, that's a lot. I thought I had a lot. And the truth is they're probably all each different, like, curriculum.
Absolutely, yes.
Because they're all on different levels, and I'm sure, the younger kids, you don't want them doing certain exercises or
Right.
certain things for
Right.
health reasons.
There's a lot. Well, when you think about a kindergartner versus even a second grader, they may not know how to skip So we'll learn to skip. They may not know how to throw a ball, so we learn basic things like that. And then once we learn those, then we're able to build from there. And because I have everybody, that's an advantage to me because I can sort of tailor what I'm doing from one level
That's
to
what
the
I was
next.
just going to say. It must be easier since you're the only PE teacher
Exactly,
because
yeah.
you get to guide where you want them to go. And so the next year, you know that they had
Exactly.
X, Y, and Z or whatever you wanted them to learn.
Right.
That does make it a little bit nicer.
It does, and I enjoy that.
And since you said that the only thing you're focused on is making sure they understand you don't have to be an athlete, you don't have to, then how do you get that? How do you do that? You said one thing that you do is you use technology in your class to help
I do.
with that. So
I do.
how do you do that?
We're very fortunate in the Jackson County school system to have a great internet set up. And in the gym, I have a projector that is attached to my computer, and I can roll it out and show videos. And the kids enjoy that because we're not doing the same thing exercise-wise every day. One child may love to dance. I have a lot of them that every day will say, we're going to dance today. But then I have some that are like, no, please don't make us dance today.
would be me.
But they enjoy the just the straight exercise videos where we're doing jumping jacks and sit-ups. So there's something on the internet for everybody. You can find an exercise program that you will enjoy and that you can do.
Do you let them split it up like you have some kids do one thing and some kids do another in each class, or is each class doing the same thing every day?
No, each class does not do the same thing every day.
Okay.
We try to, and I may dance with kindergarten during their PE, and I may do physical fitness because we have the Alabama Physical Fitness in grades second through 8th, and we practice a lot for that because the kids.
It's like a fitness test, right?
It is. We have it twice. You do it once in the fall and once in the spring. The fall is kind of a baseline. Where are you? What are you capable of doing? And then we set goals. We take those results and I give them a sheet of paper that says I can do based on what they scored on the first test. And then we look at the parameters for what is healthy fitness and as according to their schedule, and then we make goals.
Okay.
And I try to tell the kids, if you can't do any push-ups, your goal shouldn't be to do 20. Your goal should maybe be to do 5, because I try to help them set it realistically so that they don't get discouraged and disappointed if they
Right.
set them too high.
That's hard.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And each kid, you would maybe think, okay, sixth graders could do this, but some of those kids in sixth grade can't.
No, they can't, and that's fine. And I meet you where you are and try to show you ways that you can get better at push-ups or sit-ups or whatever it is that we happen to be doing. And then by setting the goals and they feel more in charge of their learning and their participation in an activity when they have something that they're working toward, as opposed to we have to do this or she's just making this up as she goes along.
Well, I hear a lot of that just for PE in general. Like most kids either love PE or don't
I
love
hate
PE.
Right.
Well, I guess the same thing with most subjects, math or whatever.
It is.
But that's what a lot of them say. So letting them have more of a choice probably has got to make it helpful. Do you ever have, like, let's say it's second grade and this student might be on YouTube and this student might be on this and this one might be on this, all in that same second grade class?
No, we're all doing
So
the
you're
same
doing the same thing?
Yes, and that's why I try to change it up every day. Like I said, because one student may love to do this, but then another student doesn't. So maybe the next day you're going to get to do the activity that you love to do. Plus, it helps to keep me from being bored, and so it's kind of a plus for me.
Right.
But it also keeps them from being bored, and like I said, it opens them up to a whole lot of different things that they might not otherwise be exposed
Well, and
to.
if you're using technology, then they know how to do that when they get home.
Yes, and we talk about
Which
that.
is important because you got to still continue this at home
Right.
to be healthy.
Yes. Where do you find this? And we'll look at the address and where they can find those things, and a lot of them will come back and say, "Oh, I did that again last night." And I like that because that lets me know that what I'm doing is carrying over, and they do enjoy it and they are getting something out of it.
So, does the middle school at your school have basketball?
They do, yes.
Are you the basketball
I
coach?
am.
Okay. So, how did it go this year?
We did not win very many games, but
Sometimes it's not about winning.
It's
like,
not,
but you can
and-
still. Did you improve?
we did. We improved.
That's really what
and
it
that's
is.
our goal. We may not have the most athletic teams, and that's fine. Again, I try to meet you where you are. I had kids this year that have never played basketball in their lives, and they wanted to play, and I am absolutely great with that. And so we started from the beginning with those, and by the end of the season, they were doing things that they didn't think they would be able to do.
There you go. Well, as long as you think there was an improvement, and
Absolutely.
and they felt there was an improvement.
Yes.
I played basketball in middle school, and I got so because I'm tall, and I got so excited to get down to the other side and shoot that I got in trouble all the time for carrying, all the time. I just picked up the ball and ran
Take off
because I
with it.
wanted to put it in the hoop. So
I've had kids do that, yeah. They get
regularly, I
excited.
mean, it was always. It wasn't just once in a while. So I finally decided no more for me after that year.
Basketball might not be for you.
Well, I did in high school. I did track, so
My son ran track. He really enjoyed that.
it was fun too.
I'm not a runner.
Well, I didn't mind running, but I did like high hurdles because I'm 6 foot, so that was nice too. And I mean, it's all about making sure the kids find something they love, and sticking to it no matter what it is,
Exactly.
and stay, I guess, healthy and keep exercising.
Yes, because it's so important to stay active. The more active you are, the fewer health problems you're most likely the fewer health problems that you're going to have, and you want to be that 83-year-old that can still get around by yourself and be mobile.
You're right. You see some 83-year-olds or 80-year-olds, it's like, wow. And then some that are 50 and look like they're 80.
Exactly.
I mean, unfortunately. So, well, good. Well, it sounds like you got everything you got going great. Basketball went good.
It did.
Well, good. We're glad that you're in the PE teacher. You've been doing it for how many years there?
18. So I've been.
Long time. So overall, are you getting close to retirement years?
I am, but I started late having children, so I will have to wait a while on that.
So you have children at home still?
I do.
Yeah. How old are they?
I have a 17-year-old that's still at home,
Yeah, that's good.
so I have to get him through first.
That's all right. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll be back when we come back. We've got one more teacher we're going to talk to. We'll be right back.
Have lunch or dinner at Guthrie's, home of the original golden fried chicken finger and the best chicken finger sauce in the world. Guthrie's can help you plan your family's meals or get-togethers with bucket specials every Tuesday, those delicious wings on Wednesday, and platters every day of the week. Plus, get sweet tea by the gallon. Remember, Guthrie's has a party room for small gatherings, too. Guthrie's, Highway 136 West in Trenton, home of those golden fried chicken fingers and the best chicken finger sauce in the world.
Guthrie's, not fast food, good food fast.
NL Tax and Bookkeeping is ready to serve all of your tax needs. Nancy Anderton's been serving the tri-state area since 1978. Now you can get your taxes prepared with no out-of-pocket expenses. Ask about up to a $1,200 refund advance. It's fast, easy, safe, and convenient. NL Tax and Bookkeeping is open 8:30 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and 8:30 a.m. till 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Questions about the Affordable Care Act? We have those answers too. And we offer a free form price comparison. Experienced and professional tax services. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 500 Alabama Highway 73, 7 miles from downtown Trenton. Call today at 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829. NL Tax and Bookkeeping. 706-657-4758 or 256-597-2829.
The Big Jet Fly.
I need somebody get back, honk a cat.
Where you talking about time I go out, 5, 4, 6, 2, 4. Rolling,
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell, providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. If you're just now joining us, I'm Pamela Stone, and we have been talking to Dutton Schools. They're pre-K through 8th school. They have about 225 students, I think is what Mr. Robbins said. He is the principal. We spoke to him first. And then we went on to talk to the PE teacher. And next to me, I have the pre-K teacher. And this is Vanessa Hancock. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
So you're the pre-K teacher.
Yes.
So pre-K, they're little. What age are those?
4s. They have to be 4 by September 1st to join our program.
Okay. And can they be older?
No, they can't be 5. 5's ready for kindergarten.
So it's literally just 4.
Mm-hmm. They can turn 5 in the program, but it's turning 4 by September 1st.
Okay. So, and you guys are already doing enrollment for next year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do they do that if somebody needs to do that?
We have a link on our website, on Dutton School website, and they can go on there and they click the link and it gives all the information on how to enroll on the Alabama site.
There you go. Perfect. All right, so tell us about yourself. How long you've been doing this, and did you do it somewhere else or whatever?
Yeah, I've taught all over, so I wrote some notes down so I can
Okay,
make sure I
good.
didn't miss anything.
Good.
I graduated section high school. And
Well,
so go Lions.
I was going to say, better make sure you say go Lions. Everyone else
I was
did.
actually in Coach Sarton's class. We
Oh, were
graduated
you?
Together, yes, in 1988. I have my bachelor's degree from the University of Alabama, but it wasn't in education. It was in human environmental sciences with a concentration in child development. And I went further and got my master's in education at Jacksonville State. And I was the one of the pre-K teachers on campus, the lab school on campus. So I was in the child development center there, so I taught pre-K on campus.
Okay.
And then once I graduated there, I went overseas and taught on the mission field. I was there for 2 years.
Where
in
at?
Nigeria.
Wow. How was that?
It was a lot of fun. I taught, I taught the missionary kids, so I taught American children in Nigeria. So I had a K through 8 classroom. So all of our grades were in one class together. So I taught there for 2 years. And then I came home and I taught second grade reading in Augusta, Georgia. I taught pre-K in Georgia for a year. And then when I started having my own kids, I homeschooled them for 8 years. And then I taught pre-K, and we have co-op schools. And so all the homeschools in the area would get together, and I taught pre-K there. And I taught preschool in Calvary Baptist in Scottsboro,
So you've
Alabama.
done a lot of outside of,
Yes.
of public education.
Yes, before I came, yes. And I taught in Scottsboro City Schools for a year, and then I came to Dutton, and this is my 4th year.
Wow. Now you've got a lot of experience in them. I'm sure they're different.
Every school was very different, yes.
Yeah. Do you have any ones that you liked better than the other?
Dutton's my favorite so far, just because, like we talked before we came on air, ours is a play-based curriculum. That means no worksheets.
That is
takes,
nice.
It takes a lot of stress off the children to try to perform, because the parents want to see the paper.
You
This
don't-
is play-based.
right, and you don't have to give a grade. Do you give a grade?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, we do observations to watch the children to see what level of development they're on, and we plan our curriculum according to what development the children are in.
Okay, so yeah, just to make sure everybody is on the same page. So we were talking, and they don't have to do any worksheets. And I used to teach preschool, and they did a lot of worksheets. And I'm not saying worksheets are bad,
Right.
but definitely you guys just do all play based, and you can learn a lot from just
Yes.
Playing. So what do you have like sections that they can play in?
Yes, we have.
Or,
We have
what do you
different
call them,
centers.
centers?
Mhm.
Okay, so what are some centers that they have that, you know, I guess one might be where you're really kind of giving them some math ideas, or so tell us about the different kind of centers.
We have a home living area where they have dress up clothes, and we have different kinds of plastic foods and all kinds of different things we can put in there. So they get to go and pretend a lot in there. There's baby dolls and stuffed animals.
Now, do they do that in kindergarten too? Because they used to do that
They
in
used
kindergarten.
to. They don't do that anymore. A lot
So
of
now it's just down to
kindergarten.
pre-K. Okay.
We have a block center where we have a lot of big blocks, stationary blocks. We have a lot of different kind of manipulatives there. We have train tracks and cars. And we have a science center where they can go explore magnets, and they can weigh things and balance, and they can work with different gears. We have a math center where there's a lot of manipulatives to count, and a lot of fine motor things. In the art area, we have a reading center, and we have something called a cozy area. It's for children who just need to be by themselves. They don't have to pick a center. They can just go and sit if they just need to just collect themselves, because sometimes missing mom is a big deal. And so they just need to go sit for a minute. They can go in there, and we have stuffed animals and a mirror and books and a photo album for the class. So there's lots of things going on in pre-K.
So is only one person can be in each center at a time, or does it vary?
Yeah, it varies. Depending on how big the center is or how much goes on. And they self-regulate their centers. And so they can see if a center is full, they know how many goes in one, and they see that one's full, and they go choose another one. So there's.
Do they have to? I've known some that have taken like their name and moved it to the. Do you have that?
Well, we have colored bands, and they hang on a little hook. So if you go to the block center, there's 4 hooks with 4 red bands. If the 4 bands are missing, you know that center's full, and you move on to another one. And so it takes about 2 or 3 months for them to understand how that works. And then they self-regulate by January. It's like clockwork in there. It's really fun to watch.
That is cool. Next time, if you come on next year, take a little video.
Oh, that would be good.
And that would be kind of fun to show it on the air. They're so cute when they're little.
They really are.
They are. And you get a lot of hugs.
Lots of hugs.
I remember that. I got lots of hugs. So, and a lot of Christmas presents.
Lots of Christmas presents. Lots of drawings.
That's true. A lot of drawings, too. So, all right, awesome. And so some of the things that you also said, in those centers, you were teaching math, and you were teaching some kind of language, not actually the alphabet, but just the understanding of language.
Right, and we try to carry on conversations with them. So a child that comes in with low language skills, we try to build them up to carry on a conversation with different exchanges. So the way we're talking, they're not able to do that yet. And so we're teaching them to expand their vocabulary, expand their sentence structure, and expand their conversation exchanges with one another.
So are you the only teacher, or do you have a helper?
I have an auxiliary.
Okay.
Yes.
And how many kids do you have?
8. Well, we can have up to 18
with an auxiliary teacher.
Yes.
Okay. And if you don't have one, then it's just.
No, we're required to have an auxiliary in our class.
Okay. And then you also work on physical, which is your PE. So what are some things that you do for like their physical?
We do obstacle courses. We we toss balls. We run. We chase. We play tag. And then we give them free time too, because unstructured play for them is very important. So they can evolve their imaginations, and they can play together. And we want to watch them, and that way we can kind of see where they are and what level they're on.
Well, I'm sure something that I think about, but I think some people probably don't, is that at that age they don't always know how to play together.
Right.
And they don't know how to social interact with each other. And if we look at, as they go up into elementary school, middle school, and even some high school, heck, even some adults, they don't know how to do that still. And so I think it's super important that you guys pay attention and focus on that.
Right.
Because, what's the end result when you're an adult is learning how to work on teamwork, be able to self-regulate yourself. So many things that so many kids just didn't, just didn't get. So.
Yeah, we try to give them those tools so they can be better in school, be better as adults, be better in life, and pre-K does that.
It really does. So is pre-K required?
No.
And you don't get all the kids. You only get one class, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and then you also said you work on social and emotional, which you said is probably one of your biggest things.
Right.
So, do you have anything else that you work on besides what we've talked about?
Well, we don't do punishments. Like, I don't send my children to the principal. We don't put them in timeout, because a lot of old school pre-Ks, you get in trouble, go sit in the timeout chair. We don't do that. We do something called conscious discipline, where we talk to the children, we help them talk about what's going on inside, because acting out behaviorally is just a cry for help. And sometimes it's just, hey, look at me, I need someone to know that I'm here today. And so we're teaching them, we're giving them the words that they need to express themselves.
I would assume the majority of them, maybe not all, but the majority of them that works for.
Yes, it really does. And it's really fun to see when you can stand with two children who've been arguing and you give them the words to talk to each other, and then they can go back and they can go play.
And I would guess, I'm going to look at the principal, I would guess that you see that in your other grade levels, that because you have very little discipline problem and you have very little academic problem, and if they're learning it in pre-K, and then it's probably sticking throughout the rest of the grade level. Because just as a middle school teacher, we still have kids who act out, sometimes like that.
Right.
And I would guess that would make a difference as you go through. And since your kids are all pretty much from the time you get them to the time, if you can get those 8 years in there, really 9 years, then you've got it good by the time they're going to high school.
Right.
Where do your kids filter to high school? Is it?
We have, they go to section or they go to Pisgah.
So one of those two. Okay. All right. Well, and no worksheets, which is great.
Right.
For
I
you
love
too.
that. And I do. I've worked in pre-Ks where we have worksheets.
That's a lot of worksheets.
It's a lot of worksheets because we were required to do like 4 a day for those babies, and they get tired. They don't
4
want
a day is
to.
too many for pre-K.
Well, and you've got children, and so I'll take your pen from you. You've got kids coming in holding their pens like this, and we watch the progression as they go through, and we try to get them to the 3-point hold before they leave. But when they're coming in like this and you're expecting them to write A 5 times on a worksheet, you're setting them up for failure. And so,
True.
And so I'd rather.
So you do work on how they hold it?
Mm-hmm. We have them sign their name in every day because a lot of them come in with scribbles. They really can't sign their name. And by the end of the year, we're seeing them sign their first name, and they know the letters and the sounds in their name by the time they leave us.
Oh, that's good. Do you read? Do you have a day, like every day, do you read a book?
Mm-hmm. We read 2 a day, 2 books a day. We have 2 large
That was
groups.
my favorite thing as a preschool
Me
teacher,
too.
was
I
to
love
read.
it.
I love reading books out loud.
Books.
It was so much fun. So, well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Super exciting, and you can definitely see, I bet, in your class and how it progresses through the rest of school.
Yes,
You are
it
the
really
most important teacher. She needs a raise. Just talk to the principal. All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks so much.
Super exciting. All right. Well, we're done for this week, but we will see you next week and this week in Jackson County Schools.